All right, Mississippi State, number one, Texas. 38.5-point favorite Texas is in this one. The over-under I have is 0.5 Quinn Ewers snaps. Probably the under is going to hit on that one, I would guess. I'm gonna say, as we sit here again Wednesday afternoon before injury reports come out, all that stuff, availability reports. They're not injury reports. Can't say.
Speaking of that, Connor, I was a little bit tired last week for my birthday. I believe we had a founding father playing quarterback for Mississippi State. Who is this now?
Michael Van Buren,
Junior. Like his signature has got to be like massive, right? I want to see his NIL anyway.
Yeah, I don't know that he leans into that last name as much. Heard some stuff. Some history books are too favorable to the Van Buren family.
He's got to redeem them, though. That's the thing. He's
Maybe.
the last chance of the Van Buren.
Go do that research on your own time. But yeah, on the Texas side with the quarterback situation, I'm going to guess that we're not going to see Quinn Ewers in this one just because of the matchup and because I think it just makes more sense to just give him that extra week, knowing you got the bye week around the corner. You want to make sure that guy is right for the Red River rivalry that's coming up, of course, after the bye. I think that this is such a lackluster way for Texas to make its SEC debut. I mean, think of how sad that is. Like, Oklahoma got college game day coming in for the Josh Heupel reunion, and there's all this hype, all this buildup, and it got a beat down as well.
I think I'd take this, actually. This is pretty cool.
I don't know. It got buzz. It got, it was fun. Instead, Texas gets a Mississippi State team coming to the house that couldn't even stay on the field with a MAC team. So
look, Spin Zone, their SEC debut at Alabama last year. Easy.
Yeah. Okay. That's one way to put it. Yeah. That's the prequel to the Texas SEC story. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves with prequels and stuff. I think we've just run out of ideas, and prequels and lazy covers of country music are two things that I can just do without in this world. I don't need that. I'm sorry, Chris Young. I didn't need you to tell me about Saturday nights once again. Nobody was asking for that. Dierks Bentley, Tom Petty did that song better than you. Whatever. We can move on.
Look, now that I'm past 30, I find myself agreeing with these takes. Keep them going.
Once you're on the other side, Will, you're on it for good. You get what I'm saying?
I could use fewer acoustic country. Anyway.
Acoustic's all right. Just the lazy covers. I don't need the lazy covers, man. Poor Michael Van Buren, though. You're going to have to face this Texas defense, which has kind of quietly been really dominant. I mean, if you're looking for any sort of signs of life from this Mississippi State offense, I don't know that you're going to find it against Texas, against PK. I feel like the Jeff Lebby offense does not have the personnel to even test this Texas defense, which if you're going to try and have some success with what Mississippi State has to offer this year, you're thinking, all right, we're gonna stretch the field. We're gonna try and take advantage of some of these matchups on the outside. We're gonna hope that we like something in one-on-one. We're gonna get our guy in press over the top. And instead, you're kind of looking at that Texas secondary going, buddy, I don't want to test any of those guys. Maybe they will. Who knows? You're gonna probably have to, but it doesn't really feel like it's that fair of a fight for Mississippi State. And that's also kind of the beauty of this potential SEC debut for Arch, which I'm expecting it will be. You can let him rip. You can tell him, go out there, man. Like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. If he makes mistakes in this one, you can kind of trust your defense to be able to bail you out in some of these spots, I would think. It doesn't mean you want to be careless with the football, but I think you've seen so far with the two games he's played against UTSA and Louisiana Monroe, he's not been afraid to just rip it. And that's a really positive early sign, I think, from him, because I think if you're Sark, all you got to do is tell him, like, look, don't be careless. Trust the scheme. Trust the coaching, trust the talent, and you're going to be in the driver's seat throughout this one. I think that'll happen. I think Texas will lean heavily on Jaden Blue once again. They gave him 25 carries in that game last week, which was an interesting development for a backfield that we've talked a lot about with the injuries that they've had so far. But I'm going to say it's another very high-volume Jaden Blue game in this one in Arch's first career SEC start, and I don't expect Texas to struggle at all. But just because I've said a lot of very mean things about Mississippi State, all of which were justified, I don't take back any of them. I'm going to say that Mississippi State covers 38.5 and Texas only wins 45-10.
That's very generous of you. I'll go on the other side of that and think, we need a stat, Mississippi State versus gentleman named Manning, because this has got to be like an O'Doyle Rules situation at this point.
That's a good point. Man,
who's there saying, not another one of these things, man? We had to deal with the grandpa. We had to deal with both brothers. We got enough. This one can run, and he's listening to Young Thug in the huddle. We can't adapt quick enough.
Even Cooper, Arch's dad, he picks Ole Miss to go to. I don't know if Mississippi State was heavily involved in that recruitment. Obviously, probably not a battle they were going to win, but you even lost out on that one. He was a decorated receiver recruit. They've lost every Manning battle. It feels like.
That's actually just a layer of like unfortunateness or unfortunate luck for Mississippi State, because it's like, come on, man, we're at kind of our lowest point here. You got to remind us there's another Manning. He's not even at Ole Miss. We got to deal with that later on the season. This is like, that was Texas. We thought we'd get Quinn Ewers, but this might be worse because this guy has like wheels, and we don't know what the ceiling is here. And our defense sure is going to let him find out what that ceiling is. So yeah, I think that. I'm with you. I think that this is one of those like call the dogs off situations where it's like, I think that you really don't need to keep anyone out there against Mississippi State. So I think that's what's going to save them. But man, yeah, just two programs at totally different ends here, where you got Texas losing one of their like their Heisman contender quarterback would be the way I could say. I don't think he was the favorite, but he was like right up there in the top four. Losing him and just not missing a beat. Just, we got a Manning just sitting back there hanging out. Let's just play him. But Mississippi State's like, guys, we had the defensive guy, now we got the offensive guy, now we can't play offense or defense. Like, it's going to be a work in progress, guys. I mean, you lost to Toledo. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean. It's just like, this is going to be kind of a sim year if we're talking about college football 25.
Year zero.
Yep.
Year zero. Just keep telling yourself that. Year zero. Find the positive. It will probably be few and far between.